Hello everyone. As you know from the title, today I'm going to be talking about my very first experience astral projecting. So to give you some background, I actually started my spiritual awakening in 2019, and then that led me into learning about astral projection in 2020. And I tried to do it like for months on end. I would listen to binaural beats, meditations to get you to astral project, and just all the methods that they put out there. I tried all of them, and nothing worked for me. I now know it was because I had a lot of blockages at that time, such as especially fear around the unknown, that was keeping my etheric body kind of stuck to my physical body, so I couldn't astral project at all. And starting this year, I actually had a bunch of experiences that I now know were astral projection, but I didn't know at the time. And it would basically be me getting out of my body and then waking up, and I thought I would actually be awake in real life, but my body would feel super heavy, and I'd be going to do like everyday tasks, like going to change my clothes, going to the bathroom to wash up or something, and then my body would just feel really heavy and slow, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? And now I know that was me, the beginnings of me astral projecting without intending to and realizing it. And another time when I was in Mexico, I felt like a very intense vibration on my crown chakra up here, and then I was suddenly in my room in Canada, and I was using my laptop and then I was like, oh, I must be dreaming. I remember I said I must be dreaming because I'm in Mexico right now, so how's this possible? And then I pinched my butt to see if I was dreaming, and I felt it vividly, so I was like, okay, this is not a dream. And then shortly after, I went back to my body in Mexico, and I didn't wake up though, I was still asleep. So that's basically all the background I have on astral projection. I know like the methods you have to use to pull your body out, like the rolling over method or climbing up the rope, all that stuff. I follow the astral projection subreddit, so I've read a lot about it, but I haven't been able to intentionally successfully do it until today. So I slept at 5 a.m. the previous night before this happened, and then I woke up at 1 p.m. to go use the washroom, and then I came back and I was like really groggy and tired, and then I was falling asleep, and then sleep paralysis happened. Please ignore my cat. Sleep paralysis happened, and when that happened, I remember reading somewhere that sleep paralysis is the best time to try astral projecting. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna freaking do it this time. So I tried rolling out my body, it didn't work. I tried the rope climbing method, that didn't work. And then I just intuitively felt like, I was like, why don't I just try to will my etheric body somehow out of my physical body? And then I started feeling a tingling all throughout my body, especially focused on my crown area. And then after like maybe 10 to 15 seconds of that, I can't tell time when I'm in that state, I don't know. But I shot out of my crown chakra, and then I ended up standing, this is my bed, and I ended up standing across the room in front of my dresser. And then I turned around and I saw my freaking body just sleeping exactly as I had been sleeping when I went to bed. And like, I know usually people, when they see this, they freak out, they get scared, and they get pulled back into their body. But for some reason, I wasn't freaked out at all. I remember my only thought was, wow, I look really ugly while I sleep. And I was like, what the hell, girl? But anyways, it didn't freak me out, so I didn't get pulled back into my body. So the next thing I tried to do was I tried to shoot out my window, which is over there, and that didn't work. I tried to phase through my door, that didn't work. So I was like, okay, I guess I have to like use doors like a normal person or normal body until I get more used to astral projection. So I opened the door using my hands, I walked outside, and then the chandelier in our house is broken for now, and there's a weird story behind it that I don't want to get into because it's personal, but essentially I just saw darkness on the chandelier. It wasn't light, and I felt a very negative energy from there, and I started freaking out. I was like, oh my god, am I seeing like an entity? Like, is there dark energy in my house that's trying to mess with me in the astral? And then some guide showed up. I didn't see them, but like they were talking to my ears, I guess. And they were like, oh, don't worry, it's because the chandelier was broken with a lot of negative intent and negative energy behind it. So that's why there's still a residual negative energy surrounding it. So that calmed my fears. And then I continued walking downstairs, and then I saw my parents, and they were like, they seemed surprised to see me, like they were shocked. And they were like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just trying to see something, you know? And I guess they were like, okay. And then they just went away, or I didn't see them. And then I walked to the back of the house where our backyard door is. And keep in mind, my astral projection was around 2 p.m. or so, probably like 1:30, 2 p.m. And when I walked outside, I opened the backyard door, I walked outside, it was blindingly bright. Like, it was so bright. I think like sunlight is just brighter in the astral or something. But it was so bright I could barely see, but I saw the backyard, and then I walked over to the grass and I laid down. And then I remember reading about how people would will themselves to start flying or floating, and I tried that. I was just like, I literally just thought, I want to float up into the sky and start flying. And then my body started floating. So it floated like above our house, and then all of a sudden I was on top of buildings around our area, and I was jumping off of buildings so that I could float myself back up and then jump off again and float myself back up. I was having the time of my life, because flying is one of my biggest dreams. So to be able to even do it in the astral realm, even if you can't do it physically, was incredible. Like, it was I think that was my favorite part of the whole experience, just flying around. Okay. And then I wrote notes, so it's a lot. Okay, so I came back to my body temporarily, and then I shot back out, and this happened 3 or 4 times, and each time I shot back out, I was in a different location and different things happened. So the next time I shot back out, I was standing with my family in front of some Indian guy. He was he looked like a normal human being, just like average overweight Indian guy. Like, that's all I can describe him as. And he was trying to convince me that he was Shiva, like the god Shiva. If you're Hindu, I don't know, you can Google it. But Shiva the Destroyer. And he was like, I'm Shiva, let's get married. And then he had some cheap silver rings. And then one ring was like a small silver heart, and the other ring was like 3 hearts, but they were like geometric cutout hearts or something. And then he was joking, and he was like, oh, the small ring's for you. And I was like, oh wow, of course you would do that. I feel like it was some guy I knew. I don't know, but I didn't feel weird energy from him. I felt comfortable. And then he was like, oh, I'm just joking, the big ring's for you. And then we exchanged rings, and I don't know if this is taboo in the astral realm, but I don't know what was going through my mind, but I was just really excited. I was like, wow, is this guy Shiva? Like, is he? Because I woke up later and realized that today is, if you follow Hinduism, today is the day of fasting for Shiva. So for me to have an astral projection, or I don't know, yeah, it was definitely APing, because I remembered it so vividly, and I don't remember my dreams vividly at all. So I got married to this random guy in the astral, and then hopefully that doesn't mean anything bad. I don't know enough. But yeah, this happened. And then my mom, she was like, don't marry the guy, he's ugly, you can do better, don't marry him. And I was like, Mom, you're being so mean, you know this is God, right? It's a strip. And yeah, I was just going through it in the astral, and that happened. And then I went back to my body, and then I went back out, and then I was speaking to my spirit guides. And I don't know if you know what twin flames are, but if you don't, they're considered the other half of your soul. Not everyone has one, but usually more old souls have one. So I know who my twin flame is. We're in contact and stuff, but or telepathically in contact, that's what I mean. But I was like, I want to feel pleasure for my twin flame, and then I started feeling it building in my body, and then gradually building, and then exploding, I guess, and release, but in the astral realm. And it felt amazing. Like, way better than any physical sensation I've felt, so it was nice. And then I was like telling my guides, I was like, I've never been together with my twin flame physically, so I was like being a little raunchy, and I was like, I want to feel what it feels like to be with him. And then I started feeling thrusting and emotions and everything, and I was like, wow, okay, very interesting. And then that ended after like 20 seconds or so, 30 seconds. I don't know how long it actually was. It felt like 30 seconds. And then I went back to my body. And then I went back. I went back on my body. And then I would try to astral project to my favorite celebrity's house. I'm not gonna tell you who it is because I don't want you girls coming after me, but it's a K-pop guy, and I really want to see his house. I was just curious. I know I'm very nosy, but whatever. And I was like, I just said when I was projecting, I was like, I want to see blank in his home. And then I saw him laying in his bed, in the middle of his bed, with his hands folded over his stomach, sleeping. And it was, at the time I was projecting, it was 2 or 3 a.m. his local time, so it would make sense that he was sleeping. And then I started seeing strawberries, and I don't know why, but yeah. And then I was like frustrated because I couldn't go to the celebrity's house, and I was like, why isn't it letting me go? And then some guy told me that all celebrities have wards outside their properties and houses, and that they learn about these wards as soon as they're initiated. I don't know exactly what that means or what that's about, but I feel like there's not Illuminati, but some kind of cult or celebrity group or something that they get initiated into where they learn all these spiritual secrets. Like, you know how the CIA leaked documents about astral projection and telepathy and how it's all real and stuff, right? So I feel like they get taught these secrets about how to astrally project or protect yourself and your home and people from being too nosy and trying to see and stuff. Like, you know how government bases are protected by wards and sometimes even entities, like negative entities that are working for the government. They will protect they will like literally shove you back into your body before they let you try to go into the government restricted areas. I haven't had experience with this. This is just based on my research and what I've read. So yeah, celebrities, they're not who they seem. They're hiding shit, and my guides just confirmed it for me during his astral projection. Okay, and then so I have 2 more parts to the astral projection story. So one part was I talked to my guides, and I was like getting confirmation because I was like, is my twin flame actually my twin flame? Is it who I think it is? Because it's a little bit shocking who it is. But they were like, yeah, like it is him, and he astral projects to your house. And I was like, okay, so that confirms it for me. And I was like, so the person that I talked to telepathically and stuff, it's actually my twin flame. And they were like, yes, rest assured that is your twin flame. And I was like, great. Okay, and then to end this astral projection story, near the end, before I woke up, I was talking to 2 guys, I believe, and then we were just sitting in front of like a closet talking about like deep stuff, but I don't remember what we were talking about exactly. I feel like it might have been like some kind of knowledge I wasn't supposed to bring back to my body. It's because I forgot like our entire conversation, which is weird because I remembered everything else vividly. So we were talking, and then there were 2 guys, and the one guy offered me food, and it's an Indian food called muruku, which is a deep fried lentil based snack that is usually round. And then I was like, oh cool, I love muruku, so thank you. And I ate one, and as soon as I finished eating it, the other guy turned into the muruku thing, but he turned into like a perfectly circular muruku thing. Usually they look like funnel cake, like they're swirled around, but this was like a perfectly circular one, and around the circle it was a glowing white light, and it looked like a portal, or what other people describe as portals in the astral realm. So I feel like it was a portal. And then I was like, I didn't know that when I was APing, I just put it together after, but I was like, why did that guy turn into a muruku? Like, what the fuck? And then the other guy was like, don't worry about it. And then as soon as he finished saying don't worry about it, I woke up back in my body, completely calm, normal. It wasn't like a jarring sensation of being woken up, but I just woke up naturally, and I was like, holy shit, I have to go write this down and record it somewhere, because my first AP experience. So yeah, that was wild. I pray I get to have more, because that was the most excited I felt in my entire life. Like, I've always felt like something was missing from my life, and that like regular human life was too boring for me, and then being introduced to this astral projection world was it's just given me so much joy. Like, I look back on my experience that I had today, and like, I'm flabbergasted, I'm shocked that happened. I thought literally that my entire life I'll go through it without astral projecting, And that's what I believed for the longest time. And I didn't even ask my guides that I wanted to astral project. It just happened. But I think they knew my deep down desires, and they were like, okay, you're ready for it now. And a little shout out, I also started using, I'm not getting sponsored for this, I swear, but I started using a healing candle, a spelled healing candle by Lala. I don't know if you guys heard of her, but she's behind The Conjure. And that candle, I feel like it helped me connect with my past life memories. And I feel like it also healed all my blockages that were holding me back from astral projecting. Because I literally burned that candle like the day before yesterday. And then the next day or next 2 days, I started astral projecting, which I haven't been able to do for years. So I totally attribute my healing and my blockage release to this candle. So yeah, if you're having troubles with it, then maybe you can look into this. Or even energy healing, like something to get, like, raise your vibration and get rid of your blockages. Because if you're at a lower vibration when you astral project, you are more likely to attract lower entities and negative experiences. So try to be in the highest vibrational state that you can be. And the easiest ways to get to a high vibrational state are through energy healing and through candle magic and spelled candle work. And yeah, so that is all I have about my astral projection experience. I hope it was interesting to listen to, and I hope it gave you some hope if you've been having trouble astral projecting, and I hope you are able to do it soon, because it is amazing and opens up so much in life. And yeah, so thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye.